is 1-1 and we'll go to Nuke as we're seeing mousesports versus Vitality. It's been a gruesome battle on Mirage, but now we'll see if mousesports can actually pull through in the end. First map wasn't their map, but now it's something they're actually very familiar on.
Yeah, mousesports will be pretty comfortable on Nuke. I think, again, Vitality have played this map, but not really against the same level of teams. They have wins against Valiance, Complexity, and Rogue, so those are okay results. It's good that Vitality are getting wins, but again, they just had that struggle against Virtus.pro earlier today. We'll see which way this one goes, but I still feel like mousesports should be good to take this.
Yeah, looking at where they played against, it's because Vitality had to qualify themselves via the open qualifier, whereas mousesports, of course, got this spot by coming through the Legend stage where they went 0-3 in the Swiss, and then they got dropped down all the way to here and have to re-qualify. And mousesports, of course, if you look at their map stats, they're playing against the likes of Astralis. Of course, you take some losses. They lose against MIBR. It's no shame. In the end, you'll always lose some, and, well, mousesports just plays against better teams, so maybe those stats are a bit slanted. But still, Vitality should have a very good chance at this map.
Yeah, that's why you can't just always only look at the stats and say, hey, they've got a 100% win rate. I mean, I could have a 100% win rate on matchmaking games. You know, no one cares about that. It's all about who you play against for sure. And mousesports are mostly playing against tier 1 teams. So that's already kind of a different caliber. But then again, I would say that Vitality have got a tier 1 player in ZywOo. That's for sure. He had a really good performance there on Mirage, even in their loss. So that's something that we could see come through on Nuke, although it's a bit harder to be as kind of individual on this map.
Yeah, you really have to stay strong together, especially with the crossfires. Holding out, well, outside is usually just let them go into secret and we'll take it from there. And then I don't know where you're going to put ZywOo. Will he be on B? I think he might be one of the faster rotators, unless if he's just going to op outside every time.
Yeah, that is another option for sure, but then the Ts can always go for that wall of smokes. It's not really that easy for the AWPer to stop that. Sometimes you can try and use the Molotov to actually block those smokes. That's an option. Or you can try and play sort of back from heaven or in those other positions around hell. There's quite a few boxes you can play around there. So there's a chance that ZywOo can make those sort of plays, but it's not like he's going to be able to sort of dictate the fights, right? You can't really go for too many aggressive plays with the AWP, especially on that CT side.
Yeah, but then would you say that ZywOo isn't really the man to watch for this map for Vitality? Or is he still so strong that you can't really write him out?
I think he's still good enough. Even if he just gets a rifle, I think he'll be fine. So just because of his talent, I feel like he almost has to be the player to watch always for Vitality. But it's still going to be interesting to see if he can get the support, because this is the map where I think he'll need it the most.
Well, let's actually see as we'll go in towards the 9th round. We'll see Vitality already taking charge and taking the first frags. It's only Sunny alive against 3 players, and that means a Vitality will actually start towards the CT side, you would assume, but you never know.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, again, Nuke isn't anywhere near as sort of unbalanced as it once was, so could go T side if you really wanted to.
If you're crazy.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was Steel from Ghost Gaming who said in an interview he actually kind of prefers to start on the T side, because then you kind of know what you're aiming for on your CT side. So if you have a really bad T side, you can start to maybe take some risks on your CT side, maybe take a few gamble stacks. So that's kind of an interesting idea, but I think it's mainly just him that's kind of going for that.
Yeah, but I've also had that with teams from the Benelux region where I'm from, where Heart lies. And they said, we just play on the T side just so we can orchestrate what tempo we'll have at the start of the match. So we can say this is how we're going to do it. And sometimes you even get a subtle hint of how they'll play the T side. If they're very aggressive on the CT side, they'll play aggressive on the T side. So you can maybe swap around some players that way.
Yeah, definitely an option. Again, though, heading into this final map, the main thing I want to see is kind of the team play from mousesports, because Nuke is a map where you kind of need that team play. On the CT side, you kind of have to have the rotates come through quite a lot of the time. You have to be sort of aware of if Secret has been given up, have you got outside control? Communication is really important, and you would expect with Stiko back in the roster, he should be able to help with those sort of things. It's even been said that once Stiko dies, he will actually call for some of his teammates that aren't quite as vocal. So you would expect that to be improved from mousesports, but we haven't really seen that so far in this series.
No, we've seen them play solo a lot of the times, or just one guy running out with one player to support who's like 3 seconds late, and then the rest just comes in later. And then at that moment, Vitality already rotated. You can't make that much of it anymore. Well, maybe they'll make it work right now. And I do hope for my countryman Chris J that he'll make it work in the end. We'll go to the pistol round. Vitality has actually chosen the T side to start on, and they will have 4 times armor with a little bit of utility on towards Happy. They're very happy to go into lobby, maybe do a vent dive as the nades are coming out.
Oscar trying to spam through the smoke just to deny any vent shenanigans, but Chris J very quick on the trigger, takes Apex out of the round. Happy able to get a trade elsewhere, so it's just a 1-for-1 trade at the start of this one, but the B site looks rather open.
No, Robs is standing by. He actually thought it was a B take after those smokes pop out, but still now he's in a great position, gets 2 kills. Chris J also with a follow-up, and only Happy alive, no armor, no teammates, and only 37 HP to make this 1v3 work. Has some time on the clock to go with, but still, his USP really needs to shine.
Ooh, and there we go. Oscar removes him, and it is going to be mousesports to take the pistol. Vitality there trying to move in towards B, and it seemed like a pretty good idea. It seemed like it would work for them, but Rops was able to get 2 kills on that B site hold. That's what really made the difference. He was hiding in that corner. We didn't get to see those 2 kills because there was just so much action going on, but he managed to stop them entirely, and that meant that mousesports were just too far ahead. And into round number 2, we're not going to see a force buy this time, a full eco for the Frenchies.
On Nuke, we can most certainly understand as we see Oscar on the long range with the auto shot and getting the first frag, 180 onto Apex. And only 3 players alive for Vitality, and against an eco, this is one of the best rifles to get that money. But MPK with the Glock still takes down Robs, and that should not happen.
Oh, okay. Oscar doing the damage. There we go. Eventually finishes Happy. That was very awkward. Playing a game of hide and seek around the door. It works out for mousesports though. Oscar, again, as you pointed out, a lot of money gained for that round. The auto shotgun, always good for that. The $900 kill reward is great, especially when you can use it on a map like Nuke. You can play those close range corners, and he'll keep the auto shotty into the first gun round.
Even against armor on close range, it is very decent, especially as Oscar has a very high headshot potential with that as well. See the AKs coming out for Vitality now as flashes fly towards outside. Apex is a bit scared and won't make his move, and that means Sunny will get into Secret, but not on the stairs, no, just a little bit to the left.
Oscar playing the exact same position as he did in the previous round. Sunny is there to assist him, although it will take some time for Sunny to trade if some fights come through. And again, Vitality kind of commit towards outside, but they take a lot of time in pushing forwards. Finally, they're going to move into position, and Sunny is still waiting patiently. They've got to clear that corner if they push in towards him, and 2 kills found already. The AK's wreaking havoc.
And Robs tries to move in and get a frag for his own, but RPK is way too fast. Only 2 players remain for mousesports, who are 2-0 up. But now we'll actually lose the first round, it seems, as only Stiko is alive in a 1v5. Gets the first frag, 2 players alone for Vitality, but still, this is a round you can't really win until you see the bomb right there, Stiko. He's like, oh, then I'll go back, takes down Saiwu, who was on 5 HP, and tries to make this work in a 1v3 still. Has a bit of utility, has some time that is running out for Vitality, but actually might get the fight on towards Happy or RPK as well. First one coming in, he'll win it as well. It's only a 1v2 right now. This nade might actually work onto Happy. Turns around now, only Apex remains in a 1v1, and Stiko is moving across, but has he been spotted? I don't know for sure. But this position could actually work out wonders. It's Apex moving in for this 1v1, takes out his knife, and it's actually Stiko winning a 1v5. 8 for him, 3 over mousesports. And Vitality will be so mad after this one.
Oh boy. Stiko, the absolute beast, just 1v5s them. After he gets the bomb, he's happy to take 1v1 fights all over the place. Again, Vitality should have had that round guaranteed. They are going to be so frustrated after that round loss. I wouldn't mind them taking a timeout right there and then, because that has got to be a frustrating round to lose. Apex already trying to make up for that previous round loss, but Oscar is maybe annoying them a little bit more with that shotgun.
Sunny also stepping in together with Stiko, meaning it's a 5-on-2, and mousesports now has regained confidence. It is only ZywOo left, but not for long, as it's 4-0 right now for mousesports, and they're making bank right now. It is something that shouldn't have happened the last round, and Vitality is just trying to make it work now. But I don't think they've really talked over what they just did, and that might actually come to haunt them later on.
Hopefully they've just forgotten about that round completely. We'll see. The Frenchies have got themselves the bye. They've got ZywOo the AWP. This is their best chance yet to get a round win. Oscar again sticking with the shotgun. It's worked well for him so far. No reason to change off of that just yet. Apex continuing to lead the way for his team. Doesn't have too much assistance, and Sunny is playing this off angle that oftentimes can be successful if only one man comes your way. Doesn't look like Vitality want to go for too much further aggression, apart from the fact that Apex is still moving forwards without support. This is a risk. He knows Oscar likes this position, and it's an easy kill for the shotgun.
Wallbangs do come in, but Oscar is nowhere to be found. Actually picks up the AK of his fallen enemy as well, as Robs is standing by, gets one kill, but gets traded out instantly. Nobody of mousesports there to refrag, and that means Vitality brings it back slightly, but as Grishay falls to a 1v1 against ZywOo, it's actually Vitality not doing too bad for themselves, as they might actually collapse towards the A side.
Oscar has been allowed to upgrade to the AK. Thanks to that fight against Apex. mousesports still trying to control the position, but I think Vitality have got a bit too much room to work with. It looks like the B site should be taken unless Oscar can stop them. His AK is getting all the information. He hears the steps, but MBK clears the corner. Sunny coming down, and he needs to get a quick kill here. Looking towards the site, ZywOo finds another, and Sunny is not going to be winning this round. He is looking to hold on to this AK.
That might mean that Vitality now has their first round after losing a few to mousesports, but every T round always counts so hard. And mousesports economy will actually take a beating. They have enough to buy the next, but afterwards they'll have trouble. That might actually mean that Vitality can string a few rounds together, as Sunny is unable to save any more than just an AK. mousesports did not invest into an AWP just yet, but as Oscar is a very, very rich man, he might actually decide to lay away that auto shotty for just one round and go big or go home.
Yeah, I expect him to go over to the rifle now. He's just kind of sticking with the shotgun because he had it available after saving it so often. As for Vitality, sure, they get their first round win, but the question is, can they follow it up? Again, Apex struggling at the start of this game, still yet to get a kill on the board. He doesn't seem to have the assistance alongside him. He's trying to be that entry player, but he was just kind of pushing alone, which is never going to be a good thing. Didn't even have a flash for him, just ended up losing his life. And ZywOo also looking to try and find an opening, but these smokes are going to make it difficult.
Oscar actually goes for the auto shot, but it's Chris J on the AWP. As positions are being swapped around, Oscar tries to go towards Secret to maybe make it work there. That's something mousesports really needs, just to change things a little bit, just to make it harder for Vitality. But you can see how little information mousesports has, as there's already been a molly and a smoke used by Oscar, but Chris J has the opener onto MBK with the AWP and ramp. And that is what they need right now, but can they hold on? Can they retain this lead? As Happy is standing by at A main, but the rest is going in towards Secret. They might actually face Oscar soon enough, as his auto shot is standing by for a fight.
Down in the vents, trying to play up close, and instant headshot. The trade is found, so that's something, but it's probably too little too late for Vitality. They are stuck in a 2-on-4. And ZywOo is going to have to make a play to pull them into this one. RPK in a pretty good position. Sunny uses his molly, but RPK stuck in the flames. And that leaves ZywOo with the impossible clutch. Should just save the AWP at this point, but even then, the rest of the team's money is starting to look a little dodgy, and Sunny is pushing forwards.
He's moving in, but he can't win the fight as he gets a clean headshot from ZywOo. And this young man is so incredibly fast, and mousesports doesn't have an answer for him just yet. But as they just kill the rest of his team, even ZywOo can do everything. This will mean a 5th round for mousesports, economic reset for Vitality. And even some bank building for the guys on the CT side. But how will they manage to take away this AWP from Vitality? That is a question for this round. As Oscar is more than happy to re-buy that auto shotty again and again and again.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. You can even play it on top of the hut, which is maybe even the more common position that we see that shotgun be used. You can also play down the vents. There's quite a few options to play with that shotgun. So I'm fine with Oscar continuing to take it. If he's comfortable on it, it's definitely good because then you get some extra money. You can even get this AWP out for Chris J more often. And with the strong start that mousesports have, again, Oscar is getting in towards the hut. Timing could be right here if he wanted to go for a push, but he has no way of knowing that. So he will just hold his ground as both teams sit back and wait to see if the other is going to make a mistake. Although, just as I say that, Chris J could get the chance for a kill.
The molly isn't too right for him as he's still standing by, hoping someone will run into his skull, but it's actually Sunny bullying the side of Vitality. I don't know where they're going. They're just grouping up outside, so they might actually go towards secret, but 2 players are actually committing on inside. And we don't know, just as little as Vitality does. Because they're still running around, now throwing those smokes to maybe going towards secret. Still no real sign on what they want to do. 4 players are in lobby. Maybe it's a B split. If only MBK and his mech tank going on outside as Chris J does spot him, but MBK uses his utility to get him out of position, but Oscar has the first frag. Will now see his mace fall back as his Robs with 2 headshots. And ZywOo can only get 2. 2 is usually enough, but not this time as Chris J makes a 6th round for mousesports a fact. Vitality is struggling once again.
Yeah, nice composure there from Rops. Really clinical on the first 2 kills. Made it a lot easier for him to get the 3rd. Doesn't just pull the trigger instantly. He makes sure he can basically win his team the round with that play. And again, Apex still yet to get a kill on the board. He's gone the full James Bond. And to be honest, with the positions he's been put in, I don't really blame him. He's just having to try and go in first and take these poor fights, oftentimes without the utility being good enough. That's always going to make it difficult to get those entries, as we see Oscar again with the shotty.
But they're being wrapped around even from outside as Sunny now gets a kill onto ZywOo. Now he spots out Happy. It's a 4-on-2 after almost everyone on Vitality dies. A little bit of tapping from Robs makes it 7-1. And still a little bit of troubles for Vitality, but the first kill to Apex. At least stays his bacon for a little moment. And now we'll see if mousesports can string even more together. Oscar on 10-4, only using the auto shotty. But Vitality on a new buy with AKs, but no AWP for ZywOo.
Yeah, and I'm like 99% sure that Happy's Tech 9 was just sticking through the wall at a really weird angle, so Oscar just ran in looking that way, which is really unfortunate. Probably shouldn't be in the game. That's something that maybe needs to be looked into. But
well, they
anyway.
tried to fix it, I believe, but like Happy has played there before, so in theory you could say it was a gamble which shouldn't have paid off anyway.
True. I mean, again, you know Oscar's going to be playing around this position with the auto shot. You've got to be ready to deal with that. Sunny going to drop down the vents, but Oscar is caught off guard. The kills come in, and Vitality finally making something work. Sunny trying to fight back, gets into the smoke. This is awkward as Happy ends up falling. Sunny trying to do the damage.
But it's Rob now moving in, getting 2 frags as well. Only Sunny and Apex remaining. But finally, Apex comes alive as the rest of his team will help him out. And it's the 2nd round for Vitality. They now have a little bit of trouble. That's the problem with winning a round every now and then. Your economy is still in shambles. And if you look at mousesports, they're like, well, we had some reserves just waiting for this moment, just to reset you once again. And just to get more rounds. Only 2 AKs for Vitality. A Tech 9, a ZZ, and a Mach 10. But they do have a lot of utility, so that's something they have going for them. So you can't be too mad if you're a Vitality fan.
Yeah, I think they did sacrifice the weaponry for the utility. So we've got to see some sort of game plan around those nades. And again, you have got ZywOo on the AK as well as Apex. So definitely don't count Vitality out. But if they were to lose this round, then mousesports would be in full control of this deciding map.
But will mousesports shine through? Like we've talked about it, mousesports was our favorite before this series. Inferno is something mousesports always said, well, we can lose that map. We'll just put it in just because. And now they actually seem to be stronger on Nuke as well, but they lose 2 players on the A side once again without putting any pressure back. Bomb drop, but Chris J as well. As it's a 2-on-5. Robs tries to get that AWP, and mousesports has already called the save.
And you can see there, losing the 2 kills on the A site so quickly is the real problem right there. Chris J trying to rotate over, but he can't get there in time. It's an easy kill for Apex on the hold. And MBK continues to fight with the MAC-10 very low on health, and he draws the attention away. Nicely done from MBK there. He gifts the kill to Happy and makes sure one more rifle will not be saved. Only Rops looking to save the AWP, and I think he will be fine to do so. And that actually even allowed MBK to upgrade his MAC-10 to an M4A4, so positives all round.
And that means it will be 8-3. No financial reset this time. So we do see mousesports struggling. They can still have a somewhat decent buy if they decide to force, but I don't really expect them to. Of course, Chris has a lot of money. Of course, Robs has as well. But still, you don't have a full buy, do you?
Doesn't seem like it. Chris J will be dropping a gun to a teammate, so it will be...
Oh, they will actually go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I forgot Oscar doesn't want an M4.
It's not too bad, honestly. Like, Stiko's got the MP9, that's fine. He's generally going to be more supportive anyway. Doesn't have the nades, which is kind of a shame. He'd like to have those flashes to help his teammates, but look at Oscar go. The shotgun gets involved in the action, and he will happily fade away, having found the opening.
You can only smile and shake your head saying, no, Oscar, this shouldn't work, but still, like, he knows his timing all the time, and he just makes it work. Now MBK also being taken low as he tries to fight from silo, or at least he dropped down to 58 HP. And that is a shame for him, as Oscar is now probably a secret player, still with his auto shotgun, waiting around and seeing a molly. That is something he didn't want to fight.
The molly fades, and Oscar starts to move into position. Can't go any further than this unless he knows it's safe. So he'll just be holding these stairs, and that means Vitality will be allowed to split this A bomb site. Apex preparing the push, but it's RPK to get the initial entry. Apex takes another fight, and it's going well for Vitality. The trades are good for them, but Oscar nearly gets it to work. It's into a 2v1, and the kills come through from heaven. Rops and Chris J double down. Both of them get 2 kills, and mousesports remain on top.
And that's really weird. Vitality had such a great position, but eventually, due to some mediocre trades and some great plays from both Chris and Robs, they made it losing in the end. It is 8-3. mousesports is stepping up, but they really need to string more rounds together, as Vitality can still buy, but only just.
Yeah, they've got money. I assume we've got to see the force buy here. Only really RPK who won't get the rifle. You could even get the AWP in the hands of ZywOo if you wanted. Not something that's needed on Nuke. Again, we saw it on Mirage, and we saw the success that Vitality had, so maybe it would make more sense for Vitality to go into maps where the AWP is kind of much more viable. You kind of want ZywOo to have the freedom, but decides not to go for the AWP on this occasion, realizing that the utility is probably more important. If he wants to gain outside control, you kind of need those smokes, and we've already seen ZywOo throw his smokes, so we might see some early aggression from Vitality, pushing in towards outside, but there's no one there to meet them.
This is a very important round, however, as both teams are low on economy. And that might mean there's whenever a team wins this round, they will get more rounds, but Crissier wants to make that true. Gets a first rank onto Apex. It's Robs now being pushed in at ramp. He is way too panicky. Should have already fallen back, but wants to go. But Vital Sunny and Crissier both make it work once again. Crissier way too active to rotate every time, and it seems like Vitality is falling for it. 3 kills for them, 11-4 in the 9th round for mousesports.
Solid work from mousesports. That first shot from Crissier was really quick, and that gives them the early advantage. Again, though, Vitality not really using their nades towards outside. That is oftentimes a staple of quite a few teams' T sides on Nuke. You go for those 3 outside smokes. That allows you to get secret control if you need it, or you can even push further in towards outside. So it gives you a lot of options, and that's something that's been completely missing from Vitality's play. Oftentimes they're just fighting without the smokes, which doesn't give them anywhere near as much cover. And again, Oscar going up close with the shotty. Ooh, takes a dink on towards Apex, tries the ambitious wallbang, but I don't think that's going to be working.
It would have been lovely, but now Happy comes out with the Tech 9, gets a first frag onto Oscar, but Stico is ready to answer. This Crissier, of course, chiming with the AWP, getting one, but now choking onto RPK. It seems like mousesports is getting a bit overzealous, losing a lot of players and losing a lot of money they don't really have. And now it's a 2-on-2. ZywOo is moving in with the P250. He's actually getting a very good position where mousesports isn't standing by for.
ZywOo thinking better of the aggressive play. Wants to wait for Apex to be in a position to help him. Still going to sit back. Apex is repositioning with that AK. Again, with 42 seconds, you can afford to do this, but Apex has been dealt with, so ZywOo will go for the heaven flank. They don't know he's here. Stico, oh no, oh no! That is a shame. ZywOo could have had a free gun, but he ends up throwing away the chance.
You hate to see it, but unfortunately you do. As we now see the 10-3 coming out from mousesports. Very solid CT side from them so far. As we do see new buy from Vitality, but what can they say? They need to make it 10-5 if they want to have an easy shot. But so far, mousesports has been way too strong. Still have a bit of money in the bank as well. But now some fast outside control from Vitality maybe.
Well, at least we know ZywOo is human. He's not some kind of CS robot from the future. He can make some mistakes. MBK's found the opening kill of this round. And mousesports, a man behind. Still looking to hold off towards the A-bomb site, a bit more passively now, not looking in towards lobby. And they've given up outside control almost entirely. It's Crissier who's watching that from heaven. And again, no smokes deployed by Vitality, but there we go. Finally, they used the smoke to cross safely. That's all they needed to do. Now they can get down secret, and this gives them a few more options.
Happy still standing by, lurking around like he does on pretty much every map. But will Vitality actually commit towards the B side? 2 players are moving in, one of which is their main entry fragger Apex, who had a rough start but eventually came alive later on. And it seems like they're going back towards a side that has worked wonders for him so far, but not too many times. It is now Stico with the refrag after Crissier helps him out as well. It is now the lead for mousesports, a 1v2 for RPK, who has the bomb, is moving towards the side, will try to fake the plant, but Crissier is not buying it. Now there will be a smoke. RPK is trying to play around it, but still, this gives more time for Robs to kill him in as well with an M4. And mousesports is lacking a defuse kit, but a wallbang comes in. RPK is low. Crissier with the pistol will finish it off. It will be 11-3 for Mouse.
Yeah, that wallbang landing makes such a big difference. It just completely panics RPK on the site. He ends up looking all different directions, doesn't know where the shots are coming from, and that means that Crissier can sweep him up from heaven. And speaking of Crissier, he is having an excellent performance on that AWP. Again, he was looking pretty good on Mirage, but he stepped it up even further here on Nuke. 15 for 5 is a really nice scoreline, and pretty much everyone on mousesports is doing their bit. That's exactly what you want to see when you've got a team with so many skilled players.
And one player that really uses the auto shotty well. It's Oscar almost losing them the last round, going very aggressive early on. But I have to admit it was smart. Every time he's just been waiting for a little moment. Now he said, well, after waiting so many times, now just go aggressive instantly, try to get the frag here now. And it could have worked. And BK took a lot of damage, but was eventually stronger than Oscar. but still the rest of mousesports stepped up. It is 11-3. We'll go into a new round, the last round of this first half, and after which we'll see Vitality on the CT side to see if they can bring it back. Maybe or maybe not. Will mousesports be the first team to go to the minor?
We'll find out in the next 20 minutes or so, depending on if they can get this win quickly or if they start to struggle. Vitality have finally gone for this secret control early into the round. Oscar is close with the shotgun and MBK finds him. Easy headshot on towards that shotty. Not quite the angle Oscar was looking for, and Vitality continue to gain ground.
And another player standing by is Ro2 with the AK, maybe a bit stronger than the other shotty, especially on a longer range. But two players are watching his angle. It's Vitality slowing it down, hoping that mousesports will make a wrong move. And Robs is actually moving closer, will maybe peek in towards the two players. It's actually the frag of the RPK as Apex is sleeping. It's back to a 4-on-4. NBK is low, but Christier might be out of position as Happy is moving across as well. With his deagle, he just has the wrong timing, but might actually flank. Stico is moving with a knife in his hand. And now we'll move in towards the B side once again, and that means Happy has a very good shot. But will he have good aim as well?
Vitality are just waiting for Happy here. They know he has a powerful position. Oh, Happy destroys them. 2 instant headshots. Beautifully done. And I like the fact that Vitality were waiting as Happy keeps on going. Sunny just not expecting that angle, which he maybe should have. And Chris J's got to go for it, but he's got almost no chance.
A man can dream, but a man can also die, and so we see him fall. It's 11-4. mousesports did amazingly well on the CT side. Eventually, the last round, they just came short to some crazy playing, crazy deal work by Happy. But then again, Happy has the most famous deal clip in the world.
True, exactly. And that one not quite as good as the Inferno one.
It was beautiful still.
Yeah, exactly. It's still really nicely done. Also a really good job from Vitality to wait for Happy to get into position. At first you kind of think, well, what are they waiting for? And then you realize Happy's on the lurk. You know, you can make the lurk work still. Happy certainly can in that round, as long as he can sort of play alongside his teammates. And he clearly had an end goal in mind in that round. So when they have an overall strategy like that, the lurk can still work really well, as was shown.
Yeah, patience is a virtue, and eventually Vitality came through. But still, they need to work really hard. mousesports 7 rounds in the lead and only 5 away from that minor spot, potentially. Unless if we go to overtime, of course. But do you think Vitality can bring it back? I think they're pretty strong. They've shown it as well against VP. Also on Nuke, they can make it close. But mousesports, especially with Chris J, has proven to be so strong.
Yeah, it's hard at this point for Vitality, right? Being pretty far behind. Again, that earlier Nuke performance didn't fill me with confidence. It was a really close one. They ended up losing in overtime, I believe, against Virtus Pro. So, I don't know. I'm not exactly liking Vitality's chances, but as long as they can get off to a good start, they can keep themselves in it. Again, Chris J's AWP was the big factor there for mousesports. On the T side, I don't expect that to be the case as much. It's much harder to get that AWP going. So, we'll see. If Vitality can get off to a good start, it's definitely doable, but mousesports are heavy favorites.
Yeah, Robs is going very fast on the outside. Might actually flank Apex very fast. And again, we see a beautiful edge coming from Robs. And that's something he's done before with the new Nuke coming out. And Stico will get a follow-up onto Happy as well. It's a 5-on-3. And Vitality is already struggling early on as MBK is now going down towards Robs as well. And somehow mousesports just has the hype train going towards the B side, but actually goes in towards the crossfire as Chris takes out RPK and also takes out ZywOo. He was thinking to be smart, but eventually he was a bit too slow. 12-4. mousesports takes yet another pistol. And they take the lead yet another bit further.
Yeah, I think ZywOo was trying to play with the trigger discipline just because he realized they were so far behind. In that 2v5, you need ZywOo to get like 2 or 3 kills at least. So he was just waiting and then hoping his aim would kind of be enough to take out multiple players. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen for him, and that means that Vitality will have to go for the force buy. Having said that, the buy from mousesports isn't exactly great. It's not like they have got a single AK in there. This is slightly doable for Vitality, maybe even a reasonable chance at winning this round with the force buy, but we'll see how these early exchanges go as ZywOo and Apex try to combine.
Good tag onto Stico as Apex shows his hand, but it's already Stico going down. But still, they deal a little bit of damage back. The guys of mousesports, they know where Apex is. They're going in, but Oscar will fall. But so will Zaiwu. It is back to a 4-on-3. It's actually Vitality going aggressive everywhere. This is only Chris J alive with the legendary MP7 and the weapon he made big just before the MP5 came out. But still, he has to clutch a 1v3 and he can't make it work. The Mac-10 is stronger. It's 12-5. Vitality bring it back with a force buy.
Yeah, it started with that Zaiwu and Apex sort of crossfire. They were working together. Then the rest of Vitality get the room to work with to rotate over. And mousesports kind of played their cards a little early in that round. They kind of fully committed in towards yards where they were exposed from quite a few angles. So now it is Vitality who have themselves the opportunity to start to come back into this game, start to kind of cut down that lead that mousesports had built up. But mousesports have forced up and they're going to move in towards A.
And they're going towards A whilst Vitality just put 2 players towards the B side. Evercade just gets 2 though. That might actually work out for Vitality as Zaiwu and MBK both come in. And mousesports will fall. Only Oscar can do nothing with his Deagle. And it's 12-6. Already half the rounds mousesports has. And mousesports goes towards an eco right now. And that might actually mean that Vitality can build up some bank and actually get some rounds together.
Not a single dollar invested for mousesports. They're all going to be a bit stingy in this round. Understandably so, because they want to get that full buy into the future. Oh boy, this could be huge. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Two kills with the nades, and the rifles follow suit. That's about as quick a round as you can get.
And that's just how to take care of an anti-eco. Both teams lost against an eco earlier on Mirage, but now they have found their way. And of course, on Nuke, you have some stronger choke points to take care of. But we do see the AKs coming out from mousesports as well. Utility in their pockets as well. And maybe they can make it work right now. You would expect them to try an outside tank early on to see how that works out. Actually, Rob's also facing a little bit, faking he might go through fence, but Apex has the angle, knows if someone will go through. He can even chase the person. Bomb dropped in lobby as well as Chris J follows Rob soon. But still, that isn't the safest position to put it in, as Chris J now actually goes whilst Apex is checking. And with the spray of Robs, they are covering the sound as well.
And that might work well for them. Chris J with the SG down in towards the vents. Apex also going to be holding in towards Hut. Again, we see a pretty slow start to the round. Even though mousesports have been able to gain some ground, they're not doing too much with that. They're waiting patiently. They're making sure they're in position to push, and then we should see an explosion of action later into the round, as we've still seen very little damage done with 52 seconds left.
And so time is running out for mousesports as the mollies now come in. Vitality still has counter util to work with. And the more the timer goes down, the more important it gets, as Chris J is still on the B side now running around trying to flank. And BK who's standing by, and so he will. Beautiful headshot, and the rest of the team might actually chime in as Zaiwu is standing by right here in hell. But he'll fall as well. It is now a 5-on-3 Apex on the side. Will take out Chris J, but will be traded out by Stiko, meaning it's a 4-on-2. And mousesports, with only 20 seconds left on the clock, will plant the bomb.
Bomb has been planted.
Let's see if Happy can do something with the AUG. Chris J definitely did with his SG, but it doesn't seem like there's any possibility here for the round win. Happy does get that first kill, upgrades to the AK, decides he doesn't want the scope in this situation. Happy going to move forward as a player up close, and it is Stiko to close out the round win. That could be a pretty important one. mousesports getting closer and closer to the minor, just 3 round wins away. And again, Vitality are going to have to really step it up in this round. If they could win this one, have the chance to reset mousesports, this would be anyone's game. But this is kind of the critical moment. Vitality need this round.
This would be no minor win for either of these teams, as Robs actually has taken a little bit of damage. I don't know if he fell down or might have been stabbed in the back by one of his supposedly friends. It's Chris J going for the first fight. He'll lose it to Apex. No flashbang being used. And the rest of mousesports will try to fight as well. But again, only 1v1s. Zaiwu will make short work of Sunny. And I don't really understand what the tactic of mousesports was for this round.
Yeah, I mean, Chris J's the in-game leader, right? You'd expect him to call the strat. So if he's running in, he should have the support, but clearly not on this occasion. And mousesports in this 3v5 will finally push as a team down in towards B. MBK, nice angle, but Oscar rips his head off. Maybe that's a way into this round for mousesports, but Vitality have still got players at B.
It is Happy standing by at the double doors, but also at single door there is a ZywOo with the AWP. Can the bomb plant be stopped? No! They're missing Oscar, but just a little inch. As Happy does get the frag, as Oscar oversteps his boundaries, but still 2 players alive for mousesports, who's taking some interesting angles, and Robs is playing around. Apex, his feet are showing, and now it's a 2-on-3. Some more damage flying towards Happy, as Robs also takes a frag onto RPK, but has only 1 bullet left in his AK, and 0 left on his HP counter. 13-8, Vitality gets another one. And mousesports, as you said, are now reset, but with a bomb plant.
So a really cool idea from Ro2 to actually stand up on top of the silo. Like, you are very exposed, especially from ramp, but if no one comes from ramp, then that's a position you're unlikely to clear, and you can see it works for him. He gets 2 kills, but needed a little bit more to actually get the round win. And now we are going to see a buy from mousesports, presumably. Oscar has invested all his money. I'm not sure I would have advised them to buy up, though. Stiko, Rops, and Sunny don't really have the cash. It's a really close one, and with such a solid lead right now, there's no need to take these gambles. But now that Oscar's bought, I feel like you almost have to commit.
Yeah, like, well, you can do an eco and then put Oscar on a scout.
Yeah.
But so far, he hasn't really wanted to play those AWP scouty roles on this map. It's more Chris J's forte. So, well, just do an eco, I would say. Just give him whatever he wants. Maybe not to show you, but Chris J also buys to the last second. That means the rest of the team will follow as well as the IGL does it. And that might mean they might reset Vitality. But they might also ruin their own dream of winning this match.
That's the upside. If they win, Vitality are in a whole world of trouble. They would be 14-8 behind without the money to go for a buy. So if mousesports could win this round, they should have the win very, very likely go their way. We'll see if that can come through, though, as we are starting to see the pushes come in. ZywOo has found the opening kill with the AWP. The smokes were up there, so I don't know how ZywOo's found an angle, but he gets the opening for his team. And again, mousesports have gained some grounds, they've gained some map control, but what can they do with this map control? It's still difficult to get towards the sites.
It is Vitality having a lot of pressure almost everywhere except for ramp. It's a place where Mouse could actually walk through, flank the B side even. But so far they're not testing the waters. They're moving towards A, where Apex is standing on side with yet another friend, and Chris J is sneaking like a crab. Oh. Just at that moment, Vitality is moving in towards the hut, but Stiko takes out ZywOo. It's 2 players right here, and they won't expect it. It's Chris J falling, and Apex now going for a second one. RPK helps him as well, 13-9. And Vitality make it work with an interesting buy from Mouse.
There we go. We've got a game on our hands. 4 rounds in it. Again, mousesports not having the money. And this is a little bit problematic now. We could really see this go down to the wire. mousesports having to go for a full eco, not a single dollar invested again for what I believe is the 2nd time in this game. And with the full Glocks, there's got to be no way they can win this. If they win this round, I will eat my hat. I don't have a hat, but I'll eat it.
You'll buy one.
I'll buy a hat.
We're in Poland, it's relatively cheap. You can buy a hat, you can eat it. But so far they're dealing some damage, but not getting the kills. As now the whole team is focusing on towards one target, and that's what you need to do with those Glocks. It's ZywOo, very low, but Happy and Apex happy to take over those kills just for that HLTV rating.
The solo Dutchman trying to do whatever he can. Shouldn't do anything here. Okay.
What?
Ooh, he came close. Apex replies with a headshot, and Vitality secure themselves round number 10. mousesports should be good enough to buy into this one, but they may be missing some nades. They're definitely not going to be getting that AWP, and you can see Chris J going for that Galil just to make sure he can get that full set of utility. So that's good to see. They get good nades across the team, missing a couple of rifles, but it's still a strong buy, all things considered.
One side note as well is that Sunny doesn't have head armor. Thinking they have so many AKs, they have the AWP, it doesn't really matter, and in theory, it shouldn't. With 2 M4s, it's still a very big gamble. Let's see if we'll actually find the right targets to fight. This RPK standing by together with Apex towards the A side once again, but they're not getting the action they have gotten prior. As Christier is not gambling on the 1v1s no more. He wants to play with his team. They're setting up for the nades for outside. But Happy is already standing by towards the B side.
mousesports continuing with their slow style of play. Even when they get into advanced positions, they generally like to take their time. The same can be said for this round, as with little over a minute left on the clock, they still haven't made any moves. But at the same time, Vitality are holding onto their nades pretty well. They've still got quite a few pieces of utility left to work with. As Apex tries to find some sort of angle, looks to get a little bit lucky, and he does damage. Push is coming in, and Apex caught reloading. That could be the difference.
But they're not checking the angles. RPK is still in the rosters. Will get one before he gets raided out. But ZywOo is stuck on side. He can actually make it work as Robson gets one, but gets raided out by MBK, also running through the fence. It's a 2v1 for the legendary Opera of Vitality. Young, but legendary, but also losing. 14-10 right now for mousesports as they take another round. But it seemed to go so bad for them in a certain moment of time.
Yeah, the French prodigy, rather, of ZywOo not able to get it done. Stiko was up close. The double scope did not help ZywOo out. And another pause comes in. Again, you can feel that every round means so much to these teams at this point. They're going to have to take the time out just to make sure they don't make any mistakes. And Vitality have been able to build up some bank thanks to those round wins. ZywOo has bought the AWP without the Kevlar, though. He could have got that dropped over towards him. So,
well, he got
he
dropped,
did get,
but he did buy an M4 back, it seems. Which, well, is a nice thing to do, but he's a star player. So far, he's top fragging again, like pretty much every map. So why would you not give him what he needs to shine?
Yeah. Then again, look at mousesports' buy. I mean, Sunny's got a MAC-10, Chris J's got a CZ. That's what we should really be focusing on, because they've got a couple of weak weapons in the mix. Even after winning the last round and the gun barrel was spotted, ZywOo is going to expect the angle, and Oscar is dealt with. That is a nice start to the round for ZywOo. Takes out the opposite AWPer and gives Vitality an early man advantage.
So Vitality actually makes it work, but now Chris J, of course, picks up the AWP. Why wouldn't he? As he's the secondary AWPer of his team. Almost the main AWPer on the CT side for Mouse. And now he'll try to get the entry somewhere, but what are they going to do with the AWP? It seems like they want to go towards the A side, the place where ZywOo also hangs around a lot of time. But they'll go to ramp, and once again, Vitality decides not to cover ramp at all, just put MBK at windows. And Happy at double doors just to make that work, and so far it has worked. But what would happen if mousesports would go to heaven?
Ooh, it doesn't look like they are going to go to heaven, though. They're moving in towards the B bomb site, so your theoretical position won't really matter. It's going to be Chris J pushing to the site with the AWP. They're going to get the bomb planted safely. This is looking pretty good for mousesports now. Vitality have got to retake, and ZywOo doesn't get the no-scope he needed. Vitality trying to get into position, but they're not really in position to retake just yet. They're going to open the door, but that gives away one man. Chris J gets the kill, and this retake looks impossible.
And so RPK moves back already, and Happy will go through the fence to happily save his rifle, and this is sad. Vitality had such a good comeback so far, but eventually just mousesports says, well, we have a bad buy, we have our AWPer gone, we'll just have another one. No problem whatsoever, it will be 15-10. Map, match, and minor point, despite it being rather big for Mouse.
Well, Vitality have got themselves those two rifles carried over. Outside of that, I think they will get a little bit more. Apex gets an M4 of his own. Not an awful buy, but when you are facing series point against you, you want to have everything in your favor. That's not the case here for Vitality. The one big omission is the fact that ZywOo's stuck on a 5-7, as again, mousesports look for this outside control, and against a weak buy, Oscar can be pretty safe at these long-range angles with his AWP.
Sonny still on the Mac 10, however, not the best weapon, but as Chris J opens up the score, it is mousesports already taking the lead, and this is what they need to do. Happy wants to bring it back. Sonny is standing with an 8 in his hands, will deal a little bit of damage, but will also lose his life, which means we're back to a 4-4. Vitality can still make this work, as they do still have those potent rifles, and mousesports is a bit split.
Oscar's playing a dangerous game right now, as is RPK. Chris J removes him from the round. ZywOo looking to dish out the damage as he lines them up. That's the bomb gone, and that's the chance for Vitality. Robs gets 1 kill in reply, but they still need to get that bomb back.
And Oscar on the AWP is the most mobile target, and that means Vitality has a very big shot. As long as they don't walk into those open angles, as Rob's trying to wallbang, deals a little bit of damage, but MBK has already fallen low health on the side of mousesports, but Oscar makes it work. It will be mousesports taking the series and will also go to the minors, the first team we've seen on stream. I think they'll be very happy about it, and they deserved it after Nuke.
Yeah, a little bit sweaty at the end there, a little bit scary.
A little bit?
Yeah?
My hands, they're dripping.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be glad for Chris J making it through, obviously. A little bit scared as a fellow Dutchman, but hey, they did it. They got there.
We're here. I'm happy. mousesports makes it into the minor, a place where they belong if you look at the world ranking. But who will be the next team to join them? Next up, we'll have North versus the X team of Space Soldiers. And they'll take on each other right after the break.